Hi Leo, and welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. So this is going to be your love and spirituality reading for the rest of February, and this will be for Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus signs. And also I'll be doing an extended video, so make sure you check the description box when you are done watching this one. Okay Leo, so I was shuffling on your energy earlier, and what I was picking up is that some of you are needing to be very careful about who you allow into your inner circle, or who you allow to get close to you or get next to you. And I say that because when a Leo is at their best, they have the ability to really raise everyone else's confidence. Like if you are around a confident Leo, just the energy that they exude will make you feel confident as well. So your energy is very precious and your energy is very valuable. And it's important that you understand that and recognize that and be very, I wouldn't say stingy with it, but yeah, just a little bit stingy with it, because you let off this energy that makes a lot of people want to be around you, want to befriend you, want to spend time with you. And sometimes those people are not deserving of being around that high vibrational Leo energy. So you just need to be a bit more picky with who you choose to interact with and who you choose to spend your time with. And I'm going through the deck because I'm trying to find your card so I can illustrate my point better. Where is it? It came out earlier, so it's probably at the bottom. Leo, Leo, Leo. Alright, there we go. Found it. Here we are, the Sun card. This is your card. So as you can see, this is a very positive card. It's like this high vibrational energy radiating off of this little child in the card. It's like this innocence that Leo has in terms of their confidence. It's very like pure, and it comes from a very genuine place. And that's why when other people observe Leos, it can make them feel more confident. So for example, Beyonce has a Leo North Node, and you can see that energy coming right off her. She doesn't have to say much. She doesn't have to do much. I mean, she does a lot. She doesn't have to say much. She doesn't have to brag, I should say, about her accomplishments, but her confidence speaks for itself, and it makes you want to do better, and it makes you want to like master your craft. Same thing with Jaclyn Hill, the YouTuber, whether or not you like her. She has a Leo Mercury, and you see the way that she communicates. It almost makes you feel like you've known her forever, and you can feel like this high vibrational energy coming off of her, and it makes you feel a bit more confident about yourself. So that's the energy that Leos naturally let off, and you're needing to understand that that's very valuable, and be very selective with who you choose to keep around you. All right, so let's jump into this. Every time I do fire signs, I just start getting so anxious. It's just that fire energy that I'm tapped into. It just always makes me feel like my heart starts racing. So I'm trying to like breathe and calm down. Okay. So in the past position, we have the Ace of Pentacles showing up first, and the Ace of Pentacles is in the reverse. So I'm feeling like in the past, there was a situation where there was an offer that was not made, or there was an initial offer that was made that turned out not to be what it was presented to be. So this could be like a job that you were offered, and then when you got there and started working, it just wasn't what you thought it was. It could be a relationship that, you know, they presented themselves in one way, but then when you got in it, it wasn't how you thought it would be. So just kind of take it and apply it as it resonates to your own life. But I feel like with this Ace of Pentacles, there's a sense of disappointment there, because there were such high expectations going into whatever this situation was. So you had very high expectations, and you were ready to put your all into whatever the situation was, and then it just flopped. Like you just didn't get a return on the energy that you were willing to invest. But I feel like that's for the best though, because the Ace of Pentacles talks about, well, the Ace of Pentacles in reverse talks about something that ended like quite quickly. It ended in a way that you didn't want it to, or that you wanted it to continue on. You wanted this long term, but you feel like it got snatched from you. But that's a good thing though, because this lets me know that if you would have stayed in that situation for any while longer, you would have ended up regretting it, because it would have been a huge waste of your time. Like a lot of times when people get dragged out of a situation by the universe, they start to fall into this mindset of, you know, if I could have just stayed a little longer, if we could have just worked things out for a little more time. Like, it's like you start playing the shoulda, coulda, woulda game in your head. But what you're not seeing is that if you would have continued in that situation, it still would have ended in a way that wasn't necessarily pleasant, but the only difference is that you would be resentful even more because you would have wasted so much time. So it's always better to be dragged out of these situations early on, when your higher self or the universe or God can just see that things are not going to work in your favor. So the Queen of Pentacles is also here. So this is your energy that's coming up. The Queen of Pentacles. It's you being a very ideal partner. I feel like the Leos that I'm reading for are very high vibrational Leos, only because it's this energy that is coming off of these cards. It just feels like you are kind of like a prize or like a hot commodity. Like, if you were to be in your best state of mind, and if the person that you were with was to treat you well, it's like you would make the perfect partner. Like, extremely grounded and down to earth, but still driven and hardworking, relatable, but still compassionate. It's like basically the ideal partner that you're coming up as. And that could be a little bit confusing, because with the Ace of Pentacles being here in the reverse, it's like, okay, I have all these positive qualities, I know what I bring to the table, then why did this end up like this? You know, like, why didn't this situation go the way I wanted it to go? And I just feel like it was something that just wasn't meant to go that way, because it would have been a huge waste of your time. I'm also hearing that it would have changed you. So all the positive traits that you have, if you would have continued to give to that situation, eventually it would have changed you for the worst. And you see that all the time. Like, you see people who you're kind of like, what happened to you? Like, they used to be a good person, or they used to be a very loving, happy, you know, like down to earth, relatable type of person, and then they get into this terrible relationship or situation, and they come out of it a completely different person, and it's like they changed for the worse. And I feel like that could have easily happened if you would have stayed in that situation, if that situation wasn't taken away from you. I feel like it really would have stripped you of all of your good qualities. So if you're just thinking in your mind like you wish that situation would have continued on, please don't, because it really would have changed you. And a lot of people say, oh, you know, I would never let a relationship change me, I'll never let this world change me. But you really don't have any control over that. If you stay in a situation that's detrimental to you for a very long time, you can think in your mind, oh, I'm not going to let this change me, but inevitably it's going to change you, because when you are emotionally connected to someone and they're treating you away over a long period of time, it happens slowly but surely. It weighs you down slowly but surely, to the point where when you leave the relationship or the situation, you're a completely different person, even though you swore up and down that you would never ever allow it to change you. So that's what I'm getting from that. The Four of Cups is also here, which is a good thing, because I feel like the Four of Cups talks about the realization that this situation just is not for you, or just not wanting to look back on it too much. So I feel like even though there was this sense of, you know, shoulda, coulda, woulda, thinking, you know, what would have happened if I would have stayed longer, or, you know, I wish this could have happened differently, there was still this sense of you knowing that you can't stay stuck in the past for too long, because then you're going to block your blessings. So that is a good thing. This is a positive reading, I think, so far. So in the present, we have the Seven of Swords. So the Seven of Swords in reverse talks about a mask falling off. So you could be thinking about someone from your past and really just seeing them for who they truly are. That usually happens when we are out of the situation and our heads are now clear. Like, there's no more of those rose-colored glasses or that brain fog. Now you can clearly see who this person is. So I feel like you're just coming to a realization about that situation, and you are understanding that it ended for your highest good, and that there's something better that's coming right around the corner, is what I'm hearing. The Six of Cups is also here in the reverse. So I feel like when you look back on that situation, you start to understand or realize how bad it really was. Like, when you're in the situation, it can kind of be romanticized, right? Like, you keep on holding on to the positives, or the like the honeymoon feeling that you got from them, and that's what keeps you going. That's what keeps you trying. Like, you're continuously trying and putting in energy because you want to get back to that honeymoon phase. But eventually, like, when you're out of the situation, then you can see that no, it wasn't, there was very few happy times, and it was more bad than good. And that can only happen, you only get that clarity and peace of mind after you are out of the situation and you're removed from it, so you can see it clearly. So I feel like you're seeing, like, just little things about this person, or you're remembering little details about the situation that were like red flags, where you're just like, oh, like I should have known that this wasn't going to work because I remember when this person did that, or when they did this, I should have known that it would have turned out like this, like that sort of energy. So reminiscing and not in a good way is what I'm seeing. And sometimes that can be a good thing or a good tool to help you get past someone who wasn't good for you, because when you reminisce and think about all the good times, obviously it keeps that cord, like it keeps that cord attached, and you are still feeding them energy through your thoughts. So when you think about the bad times and you kind of list out their poor qualities, it helps you to see that you're not missing out on much. And for those of you who you're having a hard time with this, I just feel like you're really needing to sit and analyze or really think about the situation, because if you dig deep enough, you'll find two things. One, the relationship wasn't as good as you thought it was, and two, you'll find the lesson that it was meant to teach you. And once the lesson is learned, then that's when the cord or the attachment is usually fully broken, and then you can completely move on from that person. I also feel like this Six of Cups is representing your inner child, possibly your wounded inner child, because it's in the reverse. I feel like a lot of you could have been through something in childhood, like most of us have, where we felt neglected, or we didn't get enough love, or we weren't nurtured properly in some way. So that relationship that you were in could have really mirrored that back to you. And so that's something that can be extremely painful to deal with. And that's probably why that card is in the middle, like at the heart of your reading. And with it coming right underneath the Queen of Pentacles, this could talk about like mommy issues almost. It's like never feeling that stability from your mother or from a caretaker of some sort. And so it's like you continuously attract partners who are unstable. Like you're always the stable one in your relationships. You're always the foundation, meaning that when things are going wrong, you're always the one that have to get them back on track. And it's just not fair to you, is what I'm feeling. It's like it's coming from you always having to be the foundation. Even when you were a child, it's like you didn't get anything sturdy or secure that you were supposed to get, that all children are supposed to get. And so now, like I said, you attract these people or these situations where, again, you are the rock and you have to make sure everything's going well, and they don't even try, or they don't give you the respect or the attention or the security that you deserve. And so this could be a way of kind of breaking that cycle, and also seeing the value and the worth of you, because the Queen of Pentacles is here, and that's your card. And like I said, that's the ideal partner. And I feel like there's a need for you to acknowledge your value and acknowledge your worth if you have not been doing that yet. So this relationship could have been a big eye-opener in terms of acknowledging your value. And earlier when I was shuffling on your energy too, I pulled the Devil card. So it could have been a very strong hold that this person or situation had on you, and it was very difficult to break through. And those are the situations that we learn and grow the most from. The situations where we feel like it's impossible for us to break through it, because then when we finally do break through and detach from that situation, it's like we understand we can get through anything, you know? So the Chariot card is in the reverse. So I'm feeling like some of you are having a bit of difficulty in terms of moving on. Which, like I said, is understandable because the Devil card was there. It takes a while to break free from Devil energy, because Devil energy, it binds you. It keeps you stuck. Even after you left the situation, the emotions from the situation keeps you tethered to it. So it's like you're reliving it every time you think about it. Whenever you think about something, your mind actually registers it as if it's happening right now. So whenever you think about something and you feel the emotion of it, your body reacts as if it's happening to you at that very moment. And that's why it's so difficult sometimes to remove ourselves from situations that were highly emotionally charged, because our emotions make us feel like it's happening to us every day, even though it happened like months ago or like a year ago. So I feel like that's why it's kind of difficult for you to move forward. But there's this conflict here, because it's you not wanting to stay stuck in the past, but you being stuck, if that makes sense. So it's like you want to let it go, you want to move forward, but your emotions kind of won't let you. And I feel like that's kind of like frustrating to you. It's like this conflicting type of energy of knowing that something's over, knowing that it can never go back to the way it was, but still not knowing how to let it go. And I feel like it's very like I said, it's a bit just conflicting. I'm going to pull one more for that Chariot card. Star card. Perfect. So the Star card is your advice on how to move past this energy. The Star card is the Aquarius card. This is your sister sign. And basically, the Star card is about finding the higher meaning in the relationship. The reason that you are very much stuck, it's not only because you are attracted to them and that you miss them, which is normal. Okay, sorry, my camera died. But like I was saying, the Star card is all about finding the higher lesson in what we are going through, because that is what usually is the key to setting us free. So think about the person that you were with and who they remind you of. Do they remind you of someone from your past that hurt you? Did they bring up any insecurities within you? Did they bring up any like abandonment issues within you? Like, think about what triggered you so much about this situation. And I feel like once you figure that out, that's when you're going to be able to fully move away from it, because then you have realized or understood the lesson that you were supposed to learn from it, and you realized what it is that you need to work on within yourself, and only then will that cord be completely broken. I feel like for a lot of you, this was a lesson in self-worth, or just really knowing your value, because like I said, I feel a very high vibrational energy coming off of you, and it makes me think about when people are attracted to people simply so they can kind of drain them and feed off of their light. You know what I'm saying? So I think that that is the case with you. Like, people come into your life and they're attracted to you and they just want to take from you, and they just want to feed off of that energy that you give off. And so you're needing to understand how valuable you are, because they see how valuable you are. Obviously, that's why they're trying to come into your life and like drain you. But you have to see it, so that then when you see it, you won't allow them to come into your life and take advantage and drain you of your energy. You see? So it's all about looking at the high vibrational lesson, and once you do that, you'll be able to detach. That's why a lot of people say that Aquarians are very detached, and this is the Aquarius card, and that's because Aquarians have the ability to see the higher perspective. And once you see the higher perspective, there really is no need to stay attached. Like, once you see, okay, I went through that relationship not so I can be in it forever, but to learn this lesson. Or, okay, this person didn't leave me because there's something wrong with me, but it's because I was meant to learn this lesson. It's like, once you take on that mindset, it's really difficult to stay attached to the situation or to stay sad or upset about it, because you've seen it from a higher perspective. So I'm going to extend this reading on my Vimeo channel. I will leave the link to that down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys over on Vimeo. Bye.